Hello everyone. Good morning. We have Mr. Jalaj here. Is the one going to give you overview about the course today and also upcoming sessions. We will start the session. Before this, can you brief about yourself, everyone? Like one by one. We'll start with Avtar. Avtar, can you brief about yourself?
Hello. Yeah, hi Ganesh. This is Avtar. Actually, I'm from Noida, and I'm currently working within an IT MNC here in Noida only. And currently, I'm working as a Hadoop administrator. Yeah, this is all about myself. I'm having more than 12 years of experience into the IT industry.
Naga Satish.
Yeah, hi Ganesh. I'm from Hyderabad. I have overall 8+ years of IT experience. So currently I'm working in data warehousing side. So I want to shift it to PySpark and AWS side. Yeah.
Sanjit.
Yeah, hi. My name is Sanchit, and I have a couple of years of experience in the IT industry. I'm currently working for the technology called Power BI, and I have hands-on experience on data engineering as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mantu Kumar Dekha.
Hi Ganesh, I'm from basically Delhi, and I have 12 plus experience in IT industry, and currently I'm working as a hardware admin.
Okay. Pranay.
Hi, this is Pranay here. I do have experience of 10 years in ETL data stage, working from Hyderabad location. I'm looking for upgrading my skill set to AWS.
Satish.
My name is Satish. I'm having around 15 years of IT experience. Currently, I'm working with the Deloitte Consulting, Thailand, on banking domain, regulatory reporting for last 2 years in Deloitte. Earlier, I worked for Capgemini, and this is my overall experience. And I was involved in AWS database migrations. So now I wanted to learn Glue and ETL tools, which are part of AWS Big Data specialty.
Got it. Tarun.
Ganesh, so I have 2.5 years experience in IT. Presently, I'm working as a testing engineer, so I'm interested to learn to shifting to data.
Yeah, Jalaj, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ganesh. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, my name is Jalaj, and currently I'm working as a senior consultant. And I'm certified with AWS 2 times, AWS Solution Architect and AWS Data Analytics Specialty. And I'm into cloud domain from last almost 5 and 6 years, and working on the technologies like data warehousing using Snowflake, Redshift, and BigQuery. And I do have experience on data migrations from data stage DB2 to AWS clouds, and working on writing QETL jobs, working on Python, PySpark, using Athena for data analytics, writing Lambda functions using Boto 3. So all this experience I have, and I'm going to, let me just share my screen. So I'm going to walk you through the course content, and then I'm going to give you one example of cloud computing using Lambda functions. So yeah. And meanwhile, feel free if you have any questions, please do interrupt me if you have any questions and do ask me that. So yeah, we are going to start this course from the basics of Python, and this is not just the basics, like it will be good enough to start your career as a data engineer. We won't be covering OOPS concept as in data engineer. We do, 90% of time we don't use this OOPS concept. So we are going to focus ourselves on our string manipulations, working with files, reading the file, writing files, and using those files to do ETL, using data frames, data frame methods, and we are going to finish this Python class with a slight mini project to a POC kind of things. And obviously, all these classes also going to be hands-on. And in the end, like on 4th or 5th day of this course, we are going to finish our mini project using Python. Then we are going to start with our cloud journey. I'll introduce you about AWS services, its login, sign up and login process, its console experience, and basic introduction of cloud engineering, what is cloud engineering called, the benefits of cloud engineering and the drawbacks of cloud engineering, why cloud engineering is booming, and how to shape your career from some other technology to cloud engineering very smoothly. Then we are going to start with a cloud storage service. This is called S3 Simple Storage Service. In this, we are going to see various S3 features such as storage classes, lifecycle rules, S figures, its security, versioning, and we are going to obviously finish this with some hands-ons and proper demos of all these features, understanding where these features will be helpful, why why to use these features, and how they are going to benefit us. So with this, we are going to start with our next service that is going to be AWS Lambda functions. So in this, we will see what is first of all is Lambda function is there. What is the use cases of Lambda functions, some features of it, and some limitations of it, like in which use cases we should not use AWS Lambda functions. And then we are going to learn about go-to-free library, just the AWS SDK. And this is actually used to connect AWS programmatically with other resources. And that actually we are going to see after this introduction. I'm going to show you one Lambda function that how it is utilized in real-time cases. And we are going to write at least 4 to 5 Lambda functions of different use cases to finish the course of AWS Lambda functions. So in this, you will see how to take how to connect your code with S3 services, to back up your files, to move your files to one place to another place, or basically to work with your files, maybe writing, deleting, moving, copying questions we will see. Then we are going to see how to load data into DynamoDB using AWS Lambda functions. We are going to see how to interact with IAM service of AWS Cloud using Lambda functions. And then we are going to see one Lambda mini project that is going to be, using AWS recognition and AWS tax extract. And we are going to see in this actually we are going to write 3 to 4 Lambda functions to do some conditional programming and work on AWS recognition service. That is actually used for image analysis part. This is going to be a very hands-on heavy lab on AWS Lambda, and I'll be making sure that you are in a good position to write more Lambda functions if you need this. Okay, and then one very popular service of AWS, that is AWS Athena, which is utilized for ad hoc analysis, or you can say simple serverless analytical processing. You can use AWS Athena. We will see its features, use cases, and we will learn how we can create Athena tables using glue crawlers. In this, I'm also going to introduce you with glue crawlers, which is actually very famous or capable technology made by AWS to create the metadata stored in clouds. Then we will see how we can, create the tables, and then how we can load the table data into those tables, and how we can use those tables for querying purpose, and how to fire queries, create different work groups, and interact with Athena console. So those things we are going to see in real time, and its actual use cases in production environments. What are those use cases that we can benefit from AWS Athena, and when not to use Athena, that we will also see. And after that, our main service is going to be AWS Glue, which is ETL service in cloud, where we can write codes in Python, where we can write code in PySpark, or we can also use Scala. But in this course, we are going to be covering Python shell and PySpark shell. We are not going to be covering Scala shell. And obviously, this is going to be complete hands-on. I'm going to show you quite a few Glue jobs transformation with both. We are going to use the Python shell also and PySpark shells also. And obviously, before starting with AWS Glue, as this is going to be PySpark, so I'm also going to take a class on PySpark theory class, and then all the hands-ons we are going to achieve on AWS Glue itself. It also have a visual editor which we are going to also see that. So if you have ever worked with tools called Teradata or Apache Talent, so it is, or maybe IBM data say someone introduced that. So that kind of visual interface you also have, so which we can utilize to do ETL jobs. So we are going to also see that thing. Then our warehousing part will come. In this, we are going to see AWS Redshift. I'll introduce you to workload management in Redshift, and how different workloads are created, the DDL, DML statements in Redshift, that how we can fire that using queries, and core structure and massive parallel programming of Redshift, which is very important if you want to learn Redshift. Use cases of Redshift spectrum, how we can achieve it hands-on. So those we are going to see various kind of encoding and data compression techniques in Redshift, which achieves which help us in doing optimization, running query faster, and reducing the latency in queries. Then some other activities like loading data into Redshift, unloading data from Redshift, and writing some queries on Redshift. So we are going to see, and its pricing, how Redshift is priced, and how we can achieve the optimization on our warehousing tool that we are going to see in this course. After that, we will have Amazon EMR, which is Hadoop service on EMR, which is used for big data analytics. So I'm going to introduce you to Amazon EMR, and then we are going to see EMR Studio, serverless version of EMR, and its few use cases. And then we are going to see some hands-ons also on EMR. So, big data analytics like Hive tables, Spark programs, or Pig is actually also there, but that is actually nowhere used nowadays. It's kind of a deprecated technology, you can say. So we are not going to cover that. But yeah, Hive is actually kind of very popular as of now also. So we are going to see Hive on here. And as I mentioned, Spark we are also going to see on EMR. And then we are going to cover what is the difference between, I also said on Spark code, we can also run on AWS Glue, and the same Spark code we can run on EMR. Then what is the difference? So basically in cloud engineering, I'll say there are a lot of technologies, a lot of overlaps also. Athena is also used for analytics and running your SQL queries, and then same way, Redshift is also used for running your SQL queries and doing some analytics. Then what is the difference in which use case, which tool to be utilized? So I always say it is not important that what that particular tool is doing. It is important why that particular tool only. Understanding the concept, understanding the basics, and then taking the decisions for your client at which tool is more optimized, or which is more fulfilling for this particular use case. So those we are going to learn in this complete course, and I'll try to explain you code line by line, and making sure that instead of memorizing the codes, we are in a position to write codes by ourselves, and we are understanding those things, because memorizing is not going to help in cloud engineering, because technology is changing every day. Every 6 months, they update the features of Lambda. Every 6 months, they update the feature of Glue or this EMR or this Redshift. So instead of memorizing these things, we should be understanding these things. Okay, so those I'm going to try and teach you that. And then we are going to see Amazon's DynamoDB, which is NoSQL database on cloud. So its features, its use cases, in different kind of indexings that we have available in DynamoDB, and the use cases of those indexing, how to create those indexes, benefits and losses of those indexes, understanding the partitioning in the DynamoDB and its consistency modes. And obviously, I'm saying we are going to see these things very hands-on. This is going to be 20 to 25% theory classes, and almost 70% you are going to see hands-on labs. So anytime if you have any doubts, you can ask me questions in those class itself. Then we will be left with some other services which we have in cloud, such as IAM service, RDS service, Kinesis. We are going to go through a complete Kinesis course, in which we are going to see all the 3 parts of Kinesis, like Kinesis Analytics, Kinesis Data Streams, Kinesis Firehose. And again, this Kinesis also I'm going to give complete hands-on lab that how we can use Kinesis to work with live data, how to store data, how to send data, how to receive data, how to transform data in between using this Kinesis services, how to write SQL queries on your Kinesis, or using live data, how to do analytics on live data, what are the benefits of live data analytics, what is and how it is different from batch services versus live services. So Kinesis, actually, we are going to see complete course here. Then CloudWatch, CrowdTrace, SNS are some other services, and Secret Store. These are some services which we use sometimes, and these are like the small services which help us doing our main project work, such as if I give you an example, KMS is actually utilized to, encrypt your files that we store on our S3. And then we have secret manager to store our ID password. Those things we are going to see, and how to connect with these services, and how to integrate these services with our other main AWS services to create a complete real-time project. And finally, we are going to finish this course with a complete AWS project in which we are going to build a complete automated data pipeline, which is going to be starting from S3, and it will be identified by a Lambda function, which is going to start our glue job. That glue job is going to do many PySpark transformations, such as replacing things or working with date, and then we are going to see SCD2, that how we can achieve slowly changing dimensions parts in glue, because there's no direct service available on glue to perform SCD. So we are going to see how we can use PySpark codings to work with SCDs, writing our logs data in DynamoDB tables, and pushing our actual data inside the Amazon Redshift, and we are going to see some troubleshooting and monitoring inside this. And then we are going to see how to verify that data on Redshift, and then further how this data is actually utilized in the organizations. So this is going to be a complete replica of a real-time project, and I'll be making sure this is I'll be working on a data available on internet, and this is not going to be any actual production or any actual projects data. So I'll be frank on this side. Coding wise, structure wise, and approach wise, we are going to be replicating an actual production project, but data is going to be our local data, and that is something which is available on freely on internet. So nothing, data side we are going to see on the project level, because we are going to work with some small sample data. So yeah, I'm open to questions if you have any questions, doubts about this course, about this content, you can ask me. Once we are through to these questions, I'm going to show you a Cloud Console, and we'll explain you one of the codes that we have.
Hi, Jalaj.
Yes.
So, any prerequisites for this course from our current background?
I expect you to have basic knowledge of SQL, like select, insert, deletes, updates, and basic understanding of SQLs. Otherwise, I'm not expecting you to have any prior knowledge of anything. And as you guys mentioned, someone is working on IBM Data Space, someone is working on Power BI, and someone is working on something related to data only.
Yes.
Then it's easier to actually migrate to next level technologies.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Hi, Jalaj.
Yes, please.
Just one question. So I only said that I'm working on Power BI and I have some little data stack knowledge, but my question is why AWS and why not Azure?
Okay, so it's like I mean, you guys are actually from India. So if I give you examples about why Hyundai, why not Tata Nexon, so it's the same question. So it's your preference, it's your look and feel. So basically, in the clouds, actually not only Azure, AWS, Azure, GCPs, these things we can say these are providing same kind of services. Someone has better warehousing tool, someone has better ETL tool, someone has better look and feel, someone has better cost. So if you learn AWS very easily and very smoothly, if you do some your practices also, you can move to Azure and GCP. if you will to do so. And 80%, I'll say 80% these things are similar. Some differences are there, console difference, some concept differences are there, but yeah, it's 80% is same. So, and most, I mean, clients are also like this only. Like I was working with one of the banks, and they were in touch with Google for their existing services. Some APIs and some front end services they were already in connect with Google. So, and then they thought of migrating to cloud or from their DB2s to they thought to migrating to cloud. As they already are in touch with GCP cloud, so obviously Google will push them to work with GCP, not AWS or Azure. So it's like that. There's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. It's just what you pick at first level, and then how, if you want, you can actually easily move it to other clouds also.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So Jalaj, this is Satish, Naga Satish. Like finally, the AWS code also in PySpark, like Python related code only it will be, or
it's going to be Python and PySpark codes.
okay. So not require any hands-on PySpark experience, right? So to understand these things.
No. I will say not. I'm going to cover these things. See, I'll be frank. No 1.5 month course is going to make you master. This course will be good enough to give you all the knowledge, all the all the knowledge, all the scenarios, all the real-time experience. Then it's your efforts. Then it's your work, your POCs that is going to take you on next level. This will be good enough to land you in a job or to switch your profiles. If you want to be master, then like in 1.5 months, nobody can give you that master level knowledge.
Yeah, that is fine. So after this course, we can crack the interviews, right? So at least like
I'll say yes, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, not in the first attempt, like interviews are luck based also. Sometimes I also fail interviews. I won't be back about it. I always clear my interviews. So that is a luck based thing also. But yes, you will be in a very good position to clear the interview.
Okay. And do we have any interview preparation sessions?
Yes, if you guys want, I can help you making your resume, like what to write in resumes, how to draft your resume. So those things actually we can do.
Okay, and like topic wise, can you provide any questions like not
Yes,
fixed questions?
that
Okay.
that is actually I'll do. And if you want, guys, I mean, I'm ready for mock interviews. I do take interviews for my firm also, so that you can actually do. And I'll tell you where you lack and what's the feedback also, and how we can prepare well. And once we prepare, you can actually next time also come to we can decide separately on call, take out some time on weekends after this course, and we can connect and have this mock interview. And even after the course, I'll say I'll be available over WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and emails to you guys. And if you like, sometimes we guys do their practice and they have some issues in their code which they couldn't ask in the actual classes. So you can actually send me a screenshot or have a call 5-10 minutes, and you can connect and solve that thing also. So no worries about that also. But yes, I'll be friends again. So it should not be like that you guys are coming to me and asking me to write a complete random function for you. You have to start, I'll push it to you. That I can do. But it should not be like that you landed in job and then you are assigned a task of writing a lambda function, and then it's your job, it's responsibility. If you're facing any challenges, very specific questions that you have, then definitely those you can ask me. In this course time, obviously I'm going to show you all the courses, I'm going to explain you all the code line by line.
Okay, Jalaj. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
And Jalaj, how relevant we are with if we learn the course certification, which is relevant one?
See, relevant certification will be AWS Data Analytics Specialty 1. Okay. And then there are two ways of clearing certifications. First one is you do have knowledge, you are capable of clearing certifications, and you clear the certification. Then it's cherry on the cake. And second one is like you go on internet, you find some dumps, and you clear the certifications, and you don't have any knowledge. So I won't suggest you to go on second path because that
Okay.
For an example, let's say I see some resume and that is guys mentioning that I'm certified with AWS specialty level certification, and then I'm obviously going to ask him some better questions, and then those guys lack around there. So in this course, practically you are going to see everything that is going to be covered in certification. If you need certification questions, I can provide you those things also. But certifications, giving interviews, having practical knowledge, and certifications are three different kind of things. They do overlap at some part of at some percentage of part, but they are not exact things. So if you have a technical knowledge, if you have a hands-on experience, which we are going to cover in this course, and if you are interested in certification, we can connect for 2 or 3 more days, and I'm going to guide you out clear straight certifications also.
Okay. Do we have anything like the first level, second level certifications?
Yes, we do have. So it starts from AWS Cloud Practitioner, and then as per your interest, like if you are looking to be a DevOps guys, if you're looking to be a solution architect guys, or if you're looking to be a developer, or if you're looking to be security engineer, admin engineer, based on those things, they have multiple certifications. So as you guys are looking for to be data engineer, so I suggest go for AWS Developer Associate at first level certification. Then you can easily crack AWS Data Analytics specialty. I mean, not easily. It's actually a tough one. But yeah, if you do practice well, if you do prepare well, then you can definitely clear it easily.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Jalaj, this is Avtar. My question is, will you be covering any data migration stuff also in this course?
See, all the knowledge that you need for data migrations, as I have worked on data migrations, that what are the use? I mean, what are the scenarios that you have to take care? What are the tools that actually do data migrations? I can give you all the knowledge about those things. If you need specific classes to data migration, I can help you then on that side also. But as I do not have any data with me on premise at anywhere, so I cannot show you that practically. I think you're getting my point. I do not have any SQL databases or SQL servers available with me, which is running on premise and that I can migrate to cloud. Those I cannot do. But all the events that happen in actual data migrations, that I can help you with.
Okay, Jalaj, thank you.
Any further questions, guys? Okay, in that case, if you have any questions, you can ask me still, as you can ask me, and I'm just going to show you the cloud look and feel. So as actually to answer that question, when somebody asked that what is the difference between Azure and cloud, so if I just start this from, again, start this from top. So here they have simple storage service, and Azure, they have Azure Blob Storage, exact same replica of this thing, only console feel is different. And here we have AWS Lambda, and they guys have Azure Functions. Then we have Athena. So this, I don't think they have any specific to Athena. Then we have Glue, and Azure has Databricks for their ETL purpose. We have Redshift. Azure has Synapse, which is actually a better one than Redshift. Then we have EMR, and Azure has SD Insight, Hadoop replication. AWS has DynamoDB, and Azure has Cosmos DB. Same concept, same way of working. Then on other services also, like RDS, they have SQL DB. Kinesis, they have Stream Analytics. KMS, they have eVault. And likewise, CloudWatch, they have metric services. Likewise, you can say it's an exact replica of two clouds. And if I log in into my cloud console, So actually, this is how your homepage is going to look like, and then we have all these services. Like every cloud has more than 100 or 200 of services. Like anything that you can do on premise, like web hosting, creating apps, doing machine learning, data science, engineering, data analysis, all those things are there on cloud also. And as you can see, AWS Cloud has a lot of services to offer. And obviously, we won't be able to learn all these things in this course, and actually should not be going through all the services. Actually, it should be like what you need for your profile. Okay. So inside this, we have complete machine learning sections, developer tools. So we have DevOps tools, then we have data tools, and some compute tools, data migration tools, security sections, management governance sections. We do have some IoT sections, Internet of Things, analytical sections, robotic sections. Game development, we have Alexa building specialty codes also. So those things obviously we're not going to cover in this course also, and obviously in your career also you are not going to learn all these things. This is beyond somebody's expectation. Then let me just show you Lambda console first. If I say in a quick way, Lambda is nothing but a cloud tool where you can just which works on the logic of bring your own code. Like you don't need to install any software, you don't need to install any security patches or OS or something, like no infrastructure you have to create. Simply get your code that can be in your Python, .NET, Java, or Go. I think 5 or 6 languages right now for these functions are supporting. We are going to use these functions for our Python language, and this Lambda is actually utilizing, doing some sort of automations and creating microservices architectures. So for those things, this Lambda functions are very handy to be utilized. And if I show you one code, which is, let's check out this IMX check code itself. So before, this is my Lambda code. And in this AWS, we do have a service called IAM, that stands for Identity and Access Management. So all the security and governance parts are done by this IAM thing only. And sometimes in projects, we do have this requirement to make sure that our passwords are changed very frequently, maybe in a 30 days, 45 days, or 60 days, like that. And console, we can go on IAM console and we can check it out very frequently that which users are changing their passwords. But actually in real time, we do sometimes have more than 10 or 20, or sometimes we do have 100 users which are working on same cloud project. So in that case, it won't be, an efficient way to come on console every day and check which users are having their password. Like if I should just show it to you. So we do have some users here. So, it's like creating a user and providing those users some access. And obviously, don't worry about this thing. When we start this course, we are going to, revisit this section again, and we are going to cover this IAM very completely. So right now, you can see I do have 7 users listed with me. And let's say I have a 70 users, not 7, then it's, it's going to be like, I have to come on this console every day. Somebody has to come on this console every day. Then they have to check their password age. Like this is like 60 days ago, it got changed, and it got changed 30 days, 3 days ago. This user's password is more than 94 days old, and likewise, we might have many users which has not changed their password in recent time. So to work on this and to create this automation, I had created this Lambda function, and this is the actual requirement of a project. It's not a made in mind requirement. This is actual requirements of project that I had to create a Lambda function to verify that how many users have changed their password, and if they have not changed, then to make sure drop them a email and let them remind about this, that they have to change the passwords. So inside this, I have to import some, some libraries which we are going to learn when we're going to start a Python course. I have defined a method and I used my for loop. So on a high level only, I'm going to just give you the examples. I'm just trying to give you some use cases I'm trying to give, not a code level knowledge right now. So then we have some, figured out of which are the users that I have currently have in my account. So for that, I have used my list users command, which is going to give me all the users which are listed on my IAM service. And I'm going to take those users one by one. And then inside my one more for loop, I'm going to make sure if their key is active, like if they are active users and if they have active keys, then I'm going to take my current date and I'm going to find out this active days, like this active days password is I'm going to find out. And if my password age is, I'm providing 30 days here, if it's more than 30 days, I'm going to print a message that keys are expired and needs to be rotated. And then inside this, I'm going to add one more notification service, which is SNS notification service. That is going to drop the mail to users which have listed there and have not changed the password, and they will receive an email on their email box. I'm just going to remind them about the password change process. So like this, we can use this lambda functions to create various kind of automations and connectivity in our cloud, like triggering your glue jobs or moving your files or backing up your file or loading some, doing some, any things like working with Kinesis parts, checking the logs, working with DynamoDB streams. And those things actually we are going to cover hands-on in this course. At least around 7 to 8 lambda functions I'm going to create for you. And I'm going to make sure that you understand these things. Like, again, I'm saying I'm not going to make you memorize this code. Like, I'm not going to say to you, just memorize this, that this list users actually what it does. I'm going to explain you that how we can know about this list users going into documentation, how to understand that documentation, how to understand request syntax, how to understand its response syntax, how to modify this list users for some other work that you might have that might not be exact replica of this part of this piece of work. So those things we are going to understand, not memorize. Yeah, I mean, again, open for questions.
So Jalaj, like if we are writing any code in PySpark and we can save the data into S3. So in that case, like we are using the on-prem cluster and loading the data into cloud. Am I right?
Not on-premise cluster, you can say cloud cluster.
No, not completely in AWS. Like if I'm working, for example, in any PySpark project, like a big data project. So if we are using the on-prem cluster, but we can save the data in cloud, like S3, we can store the data.
Yes, that we can actually do.
So that is like on-prem cluster we are using and storing the data in cloud.
Yes, exactly, that we can do.
So if we don't want on-prem cluster, so directly we can do the coding in AWS, like directly here itself, cloud cluster itself.
Exactly. And we are going to cover this actually in the introduction of, this course, introduction of cloud course, that what is the key differences between on-premise servers, clusters, and on-premise technology and the cloud technology, and when you should use the complete cloud model, when you should use hybrid models, as you mentioned, doing calculations on-premise and storing data on cloud, or when should you use complete on-premise structures and then comparing the benefits, advantages, disadvantages. So those things actually we are going to understand. Not I'm not going to brag about cloud like cloud is this and that and it can do all the things. Practically, there are some use cases where you should not move to cloud. That is actually true point. It's no technology is no for all. It can be for 80% and 90%. It cannot be for all. When it's not for all, those things we are going to see.
Okay, Jalaj. Yeah, got it.
So any questions from anyone? Tarun, Sanchit?
if you have any questions, guys, you can definitely ask me. Feel free about that thing. And yeah, then it's yours.